Thanks for joining me for our third and final campus safety presentation. As I mentioned in session one, our number one crime on campus is bike theft. And so that's why we have a bike registration program here on campus. It is not a requirement, but it is highly, highly, highly recommended for everyone. It's free. And what it does is it allows us to record the serial number of the bike and a brief description, maybe even take some photos of it so that if it is stolen and we recover it, we know who it belongs to. Oftentimes we recover a stolen bicycle and we don't know who it belongs to, and so it goes unclaimed. This can be done, as I mentioned, free of charge. You can go online as you see there, or you can stop by one of the two bike stations on campus. There's one just west of the Engineering Center off of Regent Drive, and there's one just outside of the UMC by the fountain. It's such an important piece of safety for our campus that the bike program that's managed by the Environmental Center here on campus has a lot of benefits that go along with that, such as free bike repairs and things like that if your bike is registered. So we highly recommend that you register your bike. When you have a bike on campus, we also recommend that you have a U-lock style of lock. No lock is impenetrable, but this is the most secure type of lock that's out there. A cable lock can be defeated very, very quickly, and so that's why we highly recommend the U-lock style of lock. We recommend also that you lock your bike through the front tire, around the down tube of the bike, and then of course to the bike rack. That way, with the quick release on the front tire, you don't come back to your bike and the tire's gone, or if you only locked up the tire, the frame's gone. So we recommend locking up both the down tube and the front tire and locking it to the bike rack. As I also mentioned, laptop theft and other device theft is very common on campus. And so we offer, through the Office of Information Technology, a laptop registration program. This is, again, free and encouraged for all students, and it's not just for laptops, it's for other electronic devices. Again, serial number is recorded and registered and kept so that when we recover something like that, we know who it belongs to. We also recommend that you have software on your computer that allows you to identify and locate your computer should it become lost, or even shut that computer down remotely if it's lost. I know that some brands of computers have those on there already, and you don't need to buy a third-party app, but some you do. So check into your manufacturer and see what's best for you. All of our residence halls have electronic key card access, so that after hours, you can swipe in to get into your hall, swipe on to get onto your floor, and then of course get into your room. But the issue happens when somebody props open a door. And so that's one of the things that our security officers are doing, is checking all the doors to make sure somebody hasn't put a little rock in there so it didn't latch. We don't want the people who shouldn't be in that residence hall in there. And so by securing those doors at all times, that will help prevent that. The last thing I always like to talk about on campus are the blue light emergency phones. You may have noticed that we don't have those on our campus. We removed them back in 2015. The primary reason was that these devices were so old on our campus that we were having a hard time even locating parts to repair them when they were breaking down. And the other thing we looked at is that of the previous several years, 90% of the calls that we got through the blue light emergency phones were pranks. And of the 10% that weren't, they were all for minor crimes, liquor law violations. Hey, can you open a door for me? Most of them, though, were just, they'd call and then run away. We'd have to send an officer over to the area that takes up a resource that could be somewhere else, and it just didn't make a lot of sense. Plus, at that time, the cell phones were really coming into prevalence, and now, of course, almost everybody has a cell phone, and we're receiving thousands of calls every year from campus through cell phones as opposed through the blue light phones. And so it just didn't make sense to invest more money in. Since they were obsolete, we would have had to replace them, which was a cost of about $1.5 million at the time to replace those, and that just didn't make sense. The last part of this is that a lot of the devices nowadays have a similar feature to a blue light phone built into their device. It's called emergency calling, and I know the Apple phones have it. I know that Androids have a version of it where with just a few clicks of the side button or whatever the sequence is, it automatically allows you to call 911 without logging into your phone, and then they can track with GPS where you are, and that helps us if there's ever a problem. So it just didn't make sense to continue putting money into the blue light phones. That's all the information I have to share with you right now. Again, thank you for taking the time to watch. If you ever want to reach out, please do. If you have questions or concerns, we're happy to talk to you about those specific concerns. And you can always reach out to us on social media as well. Thanks and have a great day. Go Buffs.